The first of the old systems we'll look at here is the Egyptian system, which operates a bit like base 10, but also with a bit of a tally idea thrown in there, where the figures used here date back to hieroglyphs from around 3000 BC. So these are some of the oldest known structured numeration systems, along with it being some of the oldest written systems, as these come from hieroglyphs, where we have the following meanings. You have the symbol 1 that's described as a staff, the heel bone is 10, 100 is given by the spiral, 1000 is a lotus blossom, 10,000 is a pointing finger, 100,000 is a tadpole, and 1,000,000 here is described as the astonished man. I'll describe generally that what exactly these hieroglyphs are drawn as varies a bit depending on the source, and in particular with that last one, the symbol for 1,000,000, some sources describe that as the astonished man, someone who's very excited to have 1,000,000 of something, whereas others describe that as depicting the god He or Ha. I'm not entirely positive how to pronounce that name because sometimes it's written with just 2 H's, but that was the god of infinity or eternity or incredibly large things in some sense. So to have that depict the 1,000,000 implied that it wasn't so much an exact large value as it was a representation of something so large as to be beyond comprehension. Where today 1,000,000 of something, it's not quite beyond comprehension anymore, certainly not in the context of other, let's say, potentially larger values you could compare it to that just sort of go on and on and on forever, but idea there is it's a bit of ambiguity with exactly what they were referring to, and I mentioned this before, it's kind of interesting to wonder what it was that they had going there, whether I'm making a reach or not. But point is here when we're talking about these symbols, the way that the Egyptians marked things were with essentially counts of a value to measure how much was in there, like a tally system. So, if you want to see a quick example for how this worked, if we want to write the following hieroglyphs as a Hindu Arabic numeral, for one, we should understand that they are written kind of like our system is, where left to right is highest to lowest, and we're starting with that potential 1,000,000 symbol. So again, it's kind of ambiguous. We're going to say that's 1,000,000 here, then 2 10,000s, 3 tens, and 4 staves for ones. Notice that in this system as we have it, they don't have a value describing a 0, but if we want to pull that all together and get a Hindu Arabic value from it, we would end up with 1,020,034. I wanted to say and there, but that's the improper notation for that sort of thing. But anyway, that's what we would get from those symbols. And let's get one more example going in the other direction. So for this, we want to write 1752 as an Egyptian numeral. So thinking about what this is, we'll need something for 1,000, 700, 5 tens, and 2 ones. So if we want to take something like that and turn it into something Egyptian, we would get something like this, where it kind of highlights the weakness of the Egyptian system as it was for representing complex numbers, complex in the sense of having many digit type values, because it would be a lot more efficient if we could just stack all of those hundreds and a couple of those fives together to make that thing a little bit more wieldy. And, well, we'll see in the next one we're going to look at that they did have in other systems an amount of abbreviation, where we're going to see what that looks like for Roman numerals.